We're starting a brand new series called Known, and I guess this kind of was birthed out of something I wrote about in my magazine, where it's all about how in relationships, especially in marriage relationships, we want to be known. Husbands and wives really want to be seen and known so that they're understood and loved. Kids want to be known and acknowledged and never pushed aside and discarded. And the aging want to be known and valued, to have purpose all of their days. Every single one of us wants to be known, because being known means being valued. And being valued, well, that's life. Psalm 139, I'm sure you've probably read at least pieces of it, is all about being known in the most comfortable and uncomfortable of ways. And by the end of it, we might just be asking and praying to be known even more. So we're going to start with the first Devo called The Search, and it's Psalm 139:1, which you've probably heard all your life. You have searched me, O Lord, and you know me. So the writer is telling the Lord, you searched me already, and you've known me, or you know me. So we're starting with that. Do you like to be searched? I don't. When we're searched at airports and patted down, it's humiliating and embarrassing. But we've become accustomed to it now if we want to travel anywhere. In other words, for the safety of the entire airplane, each person has to succumb to a search to make sure they're not carrying anything harmful to fellow flyers. This search, though, doesn't mean that we're known. It's just an outward search for weapons, but nothing's found out about our hearts. Our bags are searched at events, and some places we even have to carry a clear bag now if we want to attend. All of our private belongings are normally hidden from view, but now they're seen by a stranger that rifles through our personals and decides if we're allowed in the facility or not. And if we show up with a bag that's not acceptable, that bag has to be ditched. And that's not being known either, because we don't like sharing what we normally hide. So we don't feel known after that search, just annoyed. If we have to stay at a hospital or medical facility, we're stripped of our own clothing and placed in hospital gowns that are open in the back except for this tie or two, and then we're subjected to a body search through blood work, ultrasounds, scans, and more, so that the doctor can get to know our body and what's going on, and treatment can ensue. No one likes a hospital stay when one is stripped and searched, but yet it's totally necessary if we're going to walk out well. None of these folks that perform these searches can say they know us, because they don't know one thing about who we are when we're not in line and obedient at the moment to the rules. So airport searches so that we can fly safely. Events won't allow us in without a search so that we don't bring in prohibited items, and hospital searches to make us whole. But yet this idea that God might search us sounds ominous and worrisome, because we know ourselves. At the airport, we read the list of things we're not supposed to take and we leave them at home. At the events we've paid big bucks to attend, and we're not going to be turned away for bringing anything that's not allowed. And at the hospital, though it's uncomfortable, we want to be well and go back home. So we succumb to the search because we want life. The writer of Psalm 1 acknowledges that he's been searched by God and God knows him. And I don't know about you, but the things I have hidden in my own heart, the things I can't erase, that I hide or lay aside, like envy, hatred, judgment, and more, they aren't things I can take out of my bag for a bit while God does a search. He knows all of those things, and he sees them when I'm standing before him naked and ashamed or afraid or whatever I feel, when I know that I have contraband in my bags every day. In order to stand in his presence and experience it to the fullest, and to be holy like he is, without ill will to my fellow flyers, without harmful attitudes and hurtful words toward those around me, without disease that could cause me death, I have to be searched. And this writer has experienced the search. Note the past tense. He says, you have searched me, and afterwards he feels known. The rest of the chapter we're going to read is how well God knows us. Think for a minute how well your Father knows you. Fathers on earth know us less and less as we mature, because we start hiding things from them for fear of disapproval. We rebel against their authority because they're too strict or we're too stubborn. And eventually we leave their homes because we want away from the watchful eye of our Father. But Father God, the search he tenderly performs on us isn't like any other search we've experienced. There's no humiliation or embarrassment, no shaking of a finger and removal from the line if we're found with something we're not supposed to have, and no edict of death ever. So let's stand still and take in every verse of Psalm 139, so that when we've read each word, we can say with this writer that we've been searched and we're known, and that statement will be the most peaceful statement we've ever spoken.